report 13 different deep state FBI agents fed information to one liberal reporter, by Jim Hoft for the GatewayPundit.com. Your deep state at work. Representative Jim Jordan, the current chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, joined Stuart Varney on Wednesday to discuss the latest Strzok Page text messages released by the DOJ. The latest text messages from the anti-Trump official shows how they were feeding anti-Trump articles to the press. The newly released documents obtained by the House Oversight Committee reveals Peter Strzok and Lisa Page were discussing a strategy to leak unverified information to the media in an effort to damage President Trump. Representative Jim Jordan, remember Stewart, when Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, did his investigation, he talked about the fact that one reporter had 13 different individuals at the FBI who were feeding him information, so there was certainly a leak strategy going on. The most troubling aspect of all of this is that, remember Devin Nunes' memo about what they took to the FISA court? They cited media reports to buttress the dossier, which we know wasn't valid, wasn't corroborated, wasn't credible, but they used media reports to buttress the dossier. They were leaking information to the media that they were then using to buttress the document that they were using to then get the warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. And I hope I pronounced that word correctly. Let's take a listen.
A lot of our viewers don't follow this day to day. I want you to tell us the significance of that text. What does it imply to you?
Well, remember, Stuart, that when Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, did his investigation, he talked about the fact that one reporter had 13 different individuals at the FBI who were feeding them information. So there was certainly a leak strategy going on. The most troubling aspect of all this is that, if you remember Devin Nunes' memo about what they took to the FISA court, they cited media reports to buttress the dossier, which we know wasn't valid, wasn't corroborated, wasn't credible, but they used media reports to buttress the dossier. They were leaking the information to the media that they then used to buttress the very document that was used to get the warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. So that's the big concern with how this whole thing operated.
If there is a conspiracy to protect Hillary and undermine Trump, and I think there was, are there documents which would prove it and show it very clearly? And if so, where are those documents?
We're still waiting to get all the documents from Rod Rosenstein and the Department of Justice. It's why we pushed so hard. But never forget the basics. Bruce Ohr, a top Justice Department official, his wife worked for the firm hired by the Clintons to put together the dossier. Bruce Ohr, according to Peter Strzok's testimony when I asked him this question in the hearing several weeks ago, Bruce Ohr was giving the information to the FBI, the dossier itself. So his wife's working for the firm hired by the Clintons to put together the document that was then given to the FBI and used to go to the FISA court to spy on the other campaign. It is never supposed to work that way in this country, and yet it did. And to buttress all that effort, they were leaking information to the press to write stories favorable to what they were trying to accomplish. Again, that is never supposed to happen either, but it sure looks like it did.
Am I in a position to say there was a cabal inside the government that deliberately plotted to shield Hillary and undermine President Trump and candidate Trump? Is it a legitimate thing to say?
Remember this.
There was a cabal and they conspired?
James Comey, director of the FBI, fired. Andy McCabe, deputy director, lied 3 times under oath, faces a criminal referral. A grand jury's been impaneled, fired. Jim Rubicki, chief of staff, left. Jim Baker, chief counsel at the FBI, demoted, then left. Lisa Page, FBI counsel, demoted, then left. Peter Strzok, deputy head of counterintelligence, demoted, then fired. These were the key people who ran the Clinton investigation and then launched and ran the Russia-Trump investigation before Robert Mueller took over. That all is fact. When have you ever seen that? So was there a key group of people running all this? Sure was, and they've all been fired or demoted from the FBI.
It's just incredible to me that...
It's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible to all of us. Absolutely. Yeah, that's basically the bottom line. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.